Hello and welcome to the SIOP thing. Today I want to talk about how to get great feedback from multilingual learners so that you can fix their misconceptions. The formative assessment cycle. We know it. You give a quiz. You see what they get wrong. You correct their misconceptions. But here's the problem. The problem is that are you using gauges that are easily accessible and low stakes enough to get authentic feedback? I mean, all the time we ask our kids, any questions? No questions. So we think there's no misconceptions to fix. Or we give them maybe an exit ticket, but the exit ticket is not structured in such a way that gets authentic feedback, so we're not actually figuring out if they have misconceptions to fix. So, have you thought about this? Our students have one language repertoire. Above the water, we see their English and their home language. And of course, we're teaching them in the English, and we're accessing them through the English. But underneath the water, do they have linguistic features where they could show understanding or, more importantly, show misconceptions, but they're not able to access that understanding and those misconceptions because we're only reaching them through the English lens? That's why you could try this. Multilingual translanguaging exit tickets. Look, it's so simple. I use Brisk with this prompt to make me an exit ticket with 3 parts. It churned out a quick exit ticket for me. And here's my question. Students, can you summarize what we learned today? Write 2 to 3 sentences. You may use whatever language you are comfortable with. Guys, we're living in the future. This is now a completely doable process. And you can encourage your students to write in their home language in this exit ticket. Then you can pull down the report and it might look something like this. You see here, I have students writing in Korean, students writing in Vietnamese, students writing in Chinese for our Taiwanese students. And using this Google formula, which if this looks crazy to you, like, oh, Kevin, this is advanced Google spreadsheet stuff, it's really not. It's a simple formula that just tells Google Translate to take whatever's in that cell from K-O, Korean, into English, from Vietnamese, into English, from ZH, traditional Chinese, into English. You copy and paste that right next to the cell, and it'll pop out the English for you. You can give it a quick scan and check it out. From a lesson on the Reformation in a 7th grade history class, right here. This student wrote in Korean, today we learned that Martin Luther tried to abolish the Catholic Church and told people to leave the church. That is not what he did. That is a misconception that I can fix. And I have accessed that by reaching under the water into and leveraging the student's home language into figuring out what I need to review and reteach. Or, here's another idea. Same concept, but a little tweaked. Heteroglossia. Heteroglossia is a complicated concept, but for the purposes of this slide, I want to explain it as the use of dual language responses, like, for example, when you hear 2 people talking and they're switching back and forth mid-sentence from English to their home language. Here in this example, a 9th grade class, I've taught about cell division, and I asked my students just to summarize what we learned today using whatever language you're most comfortable with. And if there's a noun or a verb that you don't know, you can switch over to that home language and then switch back to English. So try to use as much English as you can, but really what I want is a quality response using your combination of all of your linguistic tools. Then I download that report from my exit ticket and I pop it into ChatGPT and I ask it to translate them all into pure English for me. And then check this out. GPT is your little TA. It can then read through all the responses and point out the inconsistencies for you. So here, if you look back on this slide, Mingyu wrote a little bit of Korean using some of the vocabulary of the day, cell cycle interface. But once I have it translated, I see here his full English translation, which I can read, and ChatGPT has noted for me, he says that interphase is when the cell divides, and that is incorrect. I can scan through this and now I know what to review and what to reteach. And I have accessed all of my students' linguistic repertoires to create meaningful formative assessment and improve my teaching. Oh, it's so good. I hope this helps.